Today we have so many kids nebuch going off the derech and struggling, and even young kids and young parents. So we have a lot of grandparents. Now, some grandparents are 80, 90. It's very hard for them. They come from a different world, and they can't understand it, and it's very hard. And even in that grandparent group, I've met many of them that are very kind. I've met many of them that are very soft. Sometimes their anxiety, and you tell your kid to just, we don't do this. We've had that, okay? But there's a lot of them that are very sweet in their older age, and they have a longer vision, and they're like, it's okay, Mama. They calm down the parents. Say, don't worry. It's a phase. Things will be good. And they're saying their Tehillim. It's interesting. It's Canaan, some older people, they get more mellow. They're not so hot-blooded. They've seen the world. They're not so scared, by the chitzonius. A lot of them remember the 60s, the 50s and the 60s. Not everybody was wearing a sheitel, and it's okay, and love is the most important thing, and keep her close. There are a lot of smart grandparents. We also have young grandparents. It's also a struggle for them. I met two of them recently, and I was blown away. One of them told me, I was shopping with my granddaughter, and she was going through this phase, and she says, Bobby, could you buy this skirt for me? She looked at the skirt, she looked at the girl, and it was like she picked up like something from the baby section, like something for an infant. There was not like, and she said without no training, she was like, sure, you look beautiful. Not everybody's stupid. Some people see long-term, this is my tafkid with this kid. Some people still go back to, what? You call that a skirt? It looks like a belt. What are you, crazy? You're going to go out like that? What are people going to say? Well, you're never going to get married. Yeah. We all know that. But some people are wise. So this grandma realized she's going through a hard time. She's going to buy that skirt. She's going to wear that skirt. Let me supply it. It's like she took away my whole training. She didn't need two days of intense training and all of that. She just intuitively knew my job is that no matter what this girl goes through, I'm going to be her best friend. Okay? I saw that girl, and she's in shidduchim, and she's not going to marry any regular kid because she's looking for a long-term learner, and she's so frum. And her skirts are really long. And her best friend is her Bobby. And it's not a 30-year process. This was just a couple of years. But it went from really Zeha Katan Gadol Yiyeh. Like this was really a bracha of like the expansion of clothing. And a lot of it was, and the parents sometimes, it was harder. And this grandmother calmed down the parents and said, we have to be there for her. There's no threats. There's no, if this is where she's at, this is where she's at. And I'm like, wow, are people getting smarter? Are people getting smarter? And I met another grandmother. I didn't meet any smart grandfathers yet. Interesting. Maybe I'm hanging out with too many grandmothers. But the other grandmother had a grandson who was on drugs. She never stopped calling him. She never stopped talking to him. She never stopped making sure, even though he's in a different city, it's like an hour and a half drive, driving to him. And he went through the stage where he was so high that he couldn't even talk. He couldn't even put a sentence together. And he was like, and she would just sit with him while he played video games. Just like you would visit someone in a hospital. She did it without training. And the kid is in yeshiva today. He formulates full sentences. He makes sense. He's not all the way back. I don't know if he's going to be a good shidduch for that girl yet. He's not a long-term learner yet. But he's alive. And he's clean. And he had the love of his grandmother and grandfather also and everybody. But the grandmother, like, she was schmoozing with me and said, I just want to tell you, I saw your videos. And of course, we've lost so many kids in Klal Yisrael. It's time for us to get smart. So we need the grandparents, we need the aunts, the uncles, we need the siblings. It takes a village to save a child. Everybody's got to get involved. Everyone has a chiyuv. Besides for everyone else in Klal Yisrael that's supposed to care. But if it's a relative and you ignore your relative, it's a lav. Now, I don't know, how many lavim is it? Is it every day, every hour, every minute, every month? I don't know when you get billed. But we're so frum and we're so upset at him that he's not frum. But it's a lav. Mipsarcha al tasalam, Shmuel Kamenetsky Shlita, so Zayin Gazun told me that it's Pashat Pshat by him. That the same way you're not allowed to ignore your relative's financial problems, you're not allowed to. You're not allowed to ignore your relative physical if they're sick. You're not allowed to ignore your relative who's struggling. And we know what works is kiruv. And we know kiruv doesn't mean put on tefillin, why are you dressing like that? Criticism. Kiruv levavos. We know it works. We've seen it work. The medicine is so clear. The medicine is the only medicine. Zuhi hatrufa hayichida, says Reb Gershon Edelstein. I just watched again the video of Reb Gershon. Just why can't we just follow what the Gedolim? He's almost 100 years old, and he's begging us, and he's saying, and we talked about the other kids, and we talked about supplying mini skirts, and we talked about if a boy brings a girl into the house, and he answered everything clear. The Chazon Ish said on him, he doesn't even have a shminis of gaiva. He's supposed to have 1/64 of gaiva. He doesn't even have that. The Chazon Ish told Reb Chaim Kanievsky to learn with Reb Gershon. Reb Gershon is older than him. And he told him that would be a good chavusa for you. Not enough to listen to. We have to vehema bikshu cheshbainis rabbim. What about this and what about that? Give the medicine. Give it, and let your other kids understand it. And join the sibling groups for those of you here. And just kiyem chayenu. This is our life. This is the mission of this world, is to save these kids. And nobody ever threw out a kid. And actually, I heard of one guy threw out a kid, and the kid came back. Good. So is that a mahalach? Right? Imagine the hospital says, you know what we did? We had one cancer patient, one sick kid. We threw him out the 8th-story window. He landed in a pile of garbage and he got better. It's mahalach. You're allowed to go against statistics and against all the advice of all the gedolim. Follow what works.